Most companies are asking the same question right now. How do we add AI to our product? The opportunity is real. Done well, AI can help users find information faster, automate repetitive work, and make better decisions with less effort. But successful implementation rarely starts with the model. It starts much earlier than that. In this video, I'll walk through a practical framework for implementing AI into an application, from foundation to deployment and everything in between. When you strip away the hype, most successful AI implementations follow a similar path. First, you establish the foundation, then you identify the right use case. From there, you choose the simplest implementation pattern that solves the problem. Select an appropriate model and integrate it into the product. And finally, evaluate and improve it over time. Let's start with the foundation. AI performs best when it's built on top of well-structured systems. If your data is inconsistent, your APIs are unreliable, or critical information is difficult to access, AI will inherit those problems. The result is usually predictable. Inconsistent outputs, frustrated users, and a lot of debugging. Before thinking about models or chat interfaces, ask a simpler question. Is the foundation ready? A strong foundation means clean data, consistent metadata, reliable APIs, and infrastructure that can provide information when it's needed. If those pieces are already in place, great. If not, that's your starting point, because everything else builds on top of it. Once the foundation is in place, the next question is, what should AI actually do? This is where many teams get the sequence backwards. They start with a model or they see an impressive demo. Then they try to find a problem that justifies using it. With that approach, you end up building features that look impressive but don't connect to real workflows. The better approach is the opposite. Start with the business outcome, then work backwards into the implementation. The most successful AI projects usually focus on problems that are both specific and measurable, helping users find information faster, automating repetitive work, supporting better decisions, or personalizing experiences at scale. These are the kinds of problems where improvements can be measured and business value becomes visible quickly. Once you know the problem you're solving, the next question becomes, what's the simplest pattern that can solve it? This is another area where teams often overcomplicate things. Not every workflow needs agents. Not every product needs complex orchestration. In fact, most don't. Start with the simplest pattern that works. Only introduce complexity when the problem genuinely requires it. If you're generating or classifying text, prompting is often enough. If answers need to come from internal knowledge, retrieval-based approaches may be the better fit. If the model needs to take actions or pull live data, add tool use. This can be booking a meeting, querying a database, or triggering a workflow. And only when workflows become significantly more complex should you begin considering agentic patterns. Complexity should be earned, not assumed. Once you've chosen your pattern, the next step is selecting the right model. And despite the attention given to model rankings, this decision is often more straightforward than people expect. You're balancing trade-offs: accuracy, speed, cost, privacy, control. The newest model is not automatically the right model. The best choice depends on the product you're building and the constraints you're operating within. This is also the stage where security deserves serious attention. Where does user data go? Who has access to it? And what is the retention policy? These questions become increasingly important as AI systems begin processing sensitive information. Once the strategy is clear, the engineering work begins. At a high level, implementation usually follows 4 stages: data preparation, training or configuration, validation, and integration. The exact details vary from project to project, but the process is generally similar. The first stage is preparing the data. Teams need to clean, label, and structure the data that the model will learn from. This involves removing duplicates, filling out missing values, adding labels to help the model understand context. After that comes testing and validation. Teams split the data into training and testing sets, run the model. They evaluate performance, identify weaknesses, improve the system, and repeats the process until quality reaches an acceptable level. Only then does the system get integrated into the application itself. For integration, the trained model gets deployed to a server or cloud platform. Your app connects to it through an API. Then new UI elements or backend logic get added to handle predictions. These steps take time, so expect iterations. The gap between a working prototype and production-ready AI is bigger than most teams anticipate. We cover all of this in detail in our full guide. Links are in the description below. Now here's where most teams underestimate the ongoing work. Getting an AI feature to 80% quality is often relatively fast. You can prototype something impressive in a week. Getting it beyond 95% can take months, sometimes longer. This is where evaluation becomes critical. Define your success criteria early. What does a good response look like? What counts as a failure? Build those definitions into your process from the start. The more clearly you define quality, the easier it becomes to improve it. Then measure continuously. Use automated evaluation like LLM as judge to scale your testing. But be sure to supplement it with human review to catch the nuances that machines miss. And perhaps the most important mindset shift is this: production is the starting line. AI systems need continuous attention. Monitor drift, track failures patterns, refine prompts and retrieval logic based on real usage, retrain the model periodically with fresh data. The teams that treat AI as a living system are usually the ones that pull ahead. Throughout all of this, it's worth remembering that users care far less about the technology than we do. Your users care about 5 things when it comes to AI. Is it fast? Is it accurate? Can I trust it? Does it save me time? And do I remain in control? Always give users a way to override, edit, or opt out of AI-generated suggestions. Trust erodes fast when AI feels like it's making poor decisions for them. So, back to the original question, should you build AI into your app? If you're thoughtful about it, then yes. But remember what we've covered. Start with the foundation. Pick a focused use case. Choose the simplest pattern that works. Do the technical work right. Plan for the long game. And keep your end user at the center of every decision. The best AI features disappear into the product. They just make things work better in the background. If you want to go deeper, we've written a full guide that covers the strategy and the technical implementation. Get the link in the description. And if you're evaluating how to approach this for your own product, we're happy to talk through it. Thanks for watching.